Hello Stampin' friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up in central Pennsylvania, right outside of Harrisburg. If you are returning, thanks so much for coming back for another Make It Monday. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy that we're going to have a little bit of time here to stamp today together. When you are watching this for the first time, if you watch it the day it's posted, it is actually Labor Day. So I hope you are getting some time to relax and rest and enjoy. Maybe just doing a little stamping yourself. Real quick, just a reminder that we do have celebration, our second celebration of the year, continuing into September. And that is very cool. So that runs until September 30th. So if you haven't had a chance to get all the fun things out of here that you're looking for, you still have this month. And again, free with a $50 order or a $100 order, depending upon the item that you're interested in. So don't forget that. Also, if you are looking to place an order and maybe you want to order through me, of course, here's my website with my host code, but a minimum $25 product order will get you these card kits. So no stamping can be done to stay in compliance with Stampin' Up, but these are my just cards for the month. And so you will earn these card kits, again, with a minimum $25 product order on my website using September's hostess code, which is right here. So these are really great. That's that beautiful new Blackberry Beauty paper and some really pretty foils, all squared away. An oldie but a goodie with the hand-penned paper, a Christmas card, and then a great masculine birthday card. So those would be the 5 kits that you would receive. All right, so we are going to jump right into it today. If you are new to my channel and you like what you see, I would love it if you would subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified when I load additional videos. And whether you're new or returning, I would love for you to leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see how far the video travels. And share with your friends. That would be fabulous and will help me continue my growth here on YouTube. I'm looking forward to the day that I can go live with all of you. So today we are going to do what is called a magic slider card. And I'll show you the card, but I'm not going to show you the magic part. And you may know this type of card. But here's the card, and he's cute, right? He's very cute, really shiny. I'm sure the light is reflecting off of it because this is an acetate window. Cute designer paper here. This is Heartwarming Hugs designer series paper. And then the Ho 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 is from the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. And I thought that was perfect with Santa. So you're going to have to wait till the end to see the magic. And plus I have another card to show you that I call the complimentary card to this project. So I'll be sharing that with you. And of course I'm using the Be Jolly that is out of the mini catalog, the current mini catalog, and playing with the Santa here. I'm also going to warn you ahead of time, I'm going to be using a couple of retired products today. I don't typically do that, but they were such staples in my studio that I'm thinking maybe you may have them as well. And that's going to be the 1-inch circle and the classic label punch. And then this guy, which is a monster, right? This is our crop-a-dile, which Stampin' Up sold for a while. You could also get them in other locations, but we're going to use him as well because we're going to be going through multiple layers of cardstock and designer paper, and I need the strength that that tool brings to the party, if you will. All right, so here we go. So the first thing we're starting with is a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of thick basic white for our card base, and we're scoring that, of course, at 5.5. You do not have to worry about any measurements. That will all be listed below along with the supplies that I use today. So you can just sit back and enjoy the magic as it happens, right? We're going to crease that. We want a nice sharp crease. And unlike normal projects where this fold would be at the top, for this particular project, it's going to be at the bottom. I'm going to grab my designer series paper. Again, this comes from the Heartwarming Hugs, so even this side is really cute. This is definitely Christmassy, but this side you could use all year round, and that's one of the things I really like about our DSPs. We are going to go ahead and mount this to the card front, and I'm going to be fairly liberal with my adhesive. I'm going on all 4 sides, the whole length. And then I'm going to put an X in the center. The reason is we're going to be cutting this frame out, right? The little frame for him. And so I want to make sure all my pieces stay where I intend them to be and not go astray, if you will. Okay. And then I am using the largest stitched frame from Stitch So Sweetly. And we are going to put that right in the center. I'm going to grab some of that Post-it note tape. I know I've shared this guy with you guys before. Love, love, love this tape. And just want to make sure I'm as centered as I can be. And then I'm just, you know what, I'm going to actually, I don't want it to tear the designer series paper. I've never seen it tear the cardstock, but I did just have it grab just a little bit of the designer paper the other day. So I'm actually just I have jeans on, I'm just rubbing it on my jeans to get a little bit of the sticky off so that it'll hold it in place for me without any issues. Okay, and then as you know, if you've watched me before, my die cutting and embossing machine sits right beside me. So I'm going to take this over to the machine rather than try to bring the machine in and just run that through. And then I will bring it right back. Now I always want to look and make sure that we got good cut, and we did. So no worries there, because if not, it's a great time to put it right back into the machine, maybe upside down. I don't know if you know that or not, but sometimes if you have a really intricate or tricky die that doesn't seem to want to cut through, roll it through, you know, forward and backwards as you normally would, but then flip it over in between the plates, and it's magic. It just cuts it perfectly for you then. Just going real gentle here, just in case that tacky is still a little strong. Normally I don't have to do that. So this is a cute piece. We're going to lay that aside. You might see that later. And there we have the base of our project. So the next thing that I'm going to bring in is my stamparatus. And the stamparatus is really important, or any stamp positioning tool that you might have. I have Santa on here. I'm going to bring in a piece of basic white. Now I chose to use thick basic white for this whole thing rather than regular basic white and then thick basic just for the card base itself. I want him to be centered. Okay, and here's another tip. I just had mounted him and I put him on there and I left him sit overnight. And now he doesn't want to come off. So I'm going to grab my spatula and let it help me get him started. There we go. All right, so we want to make sure that he is centered side to side, but just dropped slightly down from center, vertically. Okay, so I think I'm going to go right about there. I am going to bring one of the magnets in. These are really strong. They're what they call earth magnets, and boy, do they adhere. And then, since this is on a slant, as you can probably see, I always like to put a stamp case or something under it when I'm inking it up, so I'm getting a nice flat surface to apply the ink on. So we're going to get him all inked up. I'm using Memento. Press him down real good. Let's see if I have I do. So this is just a whiteboard eraser, but it saves my fingers and my hands. And if you're an older stamper like I am, that's a good thing. And we have a great image, so we're good there. We are going to take that chamois that we're using as a prop. And get my chamois, I mean, I wash it, but that is what happens. It stains. There's no problem there. Nothing to worry about. And then I am just going to dab him with a paper towel to make sure he's dry, because we are actually going to stamp it now on the window sheet. And this is why the stamp positioning tool is so important. You want to stamp this in exactly the same spot as we did on the basic white. I'm using Staz On this time. Now Staz On is the solvent-based ink. And that's what you need to stamp on the window sheet so that it does dry. Now it will take a little bit of time, so we're going to set this aside and let him dry while we work on the rest of the card. I put the eraser away. I'm like, where did it go? I'm just making sure I have good pressure. But again, the beauty of the Stamparatus is if we wouldn't get a great image, we could just absolutely restamp that. All right, so he looks great. I'm going to lay him aside, let him dry. Now I'm going to bring in my Staz On Cleaner. So if you guys don't know, I did say earlier that Staz On is a solvent-based ink. It does take a special cleaner to get it off your stamps. So it has this little sponge top, and I'm just gonna ink him all up, or ink him up, actually put the solvent cleaner on him so that I can get as much of that black off of there as possible. And once I have that done, I'll bring the chamois in, and you can see that all of that black is gone. So now, if I decide somewhere down the road, I just want to stamp him straight on in red, for instance, I don't have to worry about any of the Staz On ink transferring into the red ink pad. So we're going to bring the chamois back out and just give him one more wipe down. But our stamps are an investment, so you definitely want to make sure you're taking care of them. I don't tend to do that if I'm at an event. I may let it sit until I get home, and in some cases it has sat longer than I wanted to, and I haven't been able to get all of it off. But if you take care of it quickly, you're going to be fine, and your stamps will last you a really long time. All right, so we're going to bring our basic white dude back in. The blends that I used on this are, of course, the Ivory for his skin tones. And don't worry, I'm not going to sit here and color this whole thing with you because I did do one in advance. So just do a little bit here. Give that acetate a little bit time to dry, right? Because we want that to be nice and dry before we pull that back in. I did take the Wink of Stella anywhere he was just going to have some white. So his fur on his hat. And I know that's really hard to see on camera, but it is sparkly. And you could use the shimmer white for this as well and add even a little bit more sparkle if you were so inclined. But I did put the Wink of Stella on there. And the other different little thing I did is I took the light Smoky Slate and I just went over the highlight marks in his beard with that. And I actually even did a little bit of shadowing coming down from his face. And I took the color lifter then, and I just went over that, and I bled it out, just so I'd have a little bit of shadow, okay? And I know you're like, there is no colored Santa on your project. Well, there will be. Wait till you see it. Leave me a comment if this magic slider card is new to you, because this is one that's been around for quite a while. All right, so that's all the coloring we're actually going to do. I did black for his belt, his boots, and his mittens. Of course, red for the rest of his suit. And I used light and dark red, so anywhere where there was going to be a shadow, like in the crook of his hat, in here, by his arm and under the beard, and then down here under the fur for his red pants, I used the dark red, and then I came back over it with light red. Okay, so, and then daffodil for his belt buckle. So those are the colors that I used. Again, all the supplies will be listed below. And there he is, all done. By the magic of television, right? All right, so now I have another piece of the thick basic white. And we're gonna, again, give that a real good press. So if we're doing backwards, right, because our card is opening right here now like this, well, guess what? This one is gonna sit in here like this. So this is the top that we're going to use. And here's where I'm going to bring in that classic label. I'm gonna go ahead and do this part a while, and then hopefully our Staz On will be dry and I can show you why we're doing this. So we are gonna create a channel with the classic label. And if you have this label punch, you could do this with dies. It'll take you a little bit longer. This has 4 metal lines, 2 short ones on each side and then the long ones. I'm gonna line the edge of my fold up with the second metal line in, just to give me a reference point. And I'm not gonna go the whole way off the edge. So I wanna leave just a little bit of space, and I'm gonna line that up again with that and I don't know, can you see the metal lines in there? So that second metal line, and I'm gonna punch. And then I'm gonna come this way and I'm gonna do the same thing, trying again to line that up on the second metal line, so my channel, if you will, is gonna be fairly even. And I'm gonna slide that in a little bit more because I can't really see the edge. Okay, and so now, if I have, and I do have just a hair, all I have to do is take my bone folder and make that go away. It is nothing to worry about. You're not gonna see it anywhere. Okay, and there we go. So we're gonna see if this guy is gonna fit down through here. No, so we need to go just a little bit wider. I thought this end had a little too much left on it. So let's bring this in, line that edge up again. Oops. Don't you hate it when you have it all lined up and it shifts on you? Oh, always when you guys are watching. I'm going to do a little bit more, I think. Better to do it in little slivers than to take too much off, right? Ooh. Now I have a big chunk there, but that's okay. That's okay. There we go. Got that smoothed out. Now let's see if he fits down in there. Oh, I might take a little bit off of him because he's being very contrary. Let's do that. Let's just trim him down just a hair. And we'll actually trim our window sheet down as well. So the same amount. So I'm going to do 1/16 on each side of him. Because again, he has to line up. And that way we're keeping him centered. And I'm not so worried about the depth. I really want to make sure though, because that did shift on me. There we go. Now we have him even. And let's see, how are you doing? So here's a way to test if your Staz On is dry. You're going to gently flip it over, lay it on your paper, and just press. And if you don't transfer any ink when you pick it up, which we didn't, we're dry. So we're going to trim him down the same way. Sorry, I just hit the light. That was loud, wasn't it? We are going to take him down 1/16 of an inch on each side. He's a little harder to see though. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's get him aligned. I'm being very brave because this really may not work, big trimming this down, if I don't get this exactly right. So there he is. You know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna put him together and I'm gonna hand cut him because I wanna make sure that it doesn't go astray for us. So let me grab a glue dot. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that glue dot right up here on the window sheet. Try to center that, right? And then I'm gonna line this up just like that. And then I can trim that just with my snips and make sure that we have a matched world, if you will, with our two Santas. Okay, that I think is gonna be pretty good. Let's trim this top off too. So, normally you don't have to do the trimming part. Normally it works out, but I was a little leery to make my opening any wider on this piece because I'm running out of edge and I need to have some edge there. So, okay, so here we go. Let's see if he fits. Nope, we're gonna trim some more of that window sheet off. See, I like to make the issues for you so that you can see if they happen to you, what you need to do. All right, that should do it now. Let's see. Oh, he's still, there we go. No, he'll be fine. He'll be perfect, as a matter of fact. All right, so there is our little guy. We're done with this, so we're gonna move that off camera and get away all these little plastic pieces from the window sheet. Isn't he cute? I did cut a small circle with the layering circle dies before we got together, and I just scored that on my paper trimmer right in half. We are going to put that up here. It's going to be our pull mechanism, right? You can see it right here. Okay. And we're going to cover up the glue dot at the same time. So make sure that that's not ugly there on our cute little project. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to use Seal Plus. You could use liquid glue. The problem with liquid glue when you are working with window sheets is if you just get it slightly misaligned and have to shift it, it kind of gets cloudy on the window sheet, and that's not fun. So the thing about Seal Plus is it's super strong, which I love, and it comes off in these little tabs. You can almost see the little perforated lines, if you will. So you can just kind of roll it back in on itself if you have any sticking beyond. And now we're going to pick this guy up. And we want it to be in the center as much as possible. That looks pretty good. So that's going to be what holds our dude together. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to put this back in here. Into our channel. See, now you see the secret, right? Because when you pull him up, he's magically colored. All right, so we're going to put a stopper on him, and it's nothing crazy. I just cut a piece of the basic white again. We are going to mount that right down here at the bottom of the colored Santa, okay? I want to make sure he's aligned when we do that, so let me get him back where he belongs. Okay. I'm going to actually put the Seal Plus again in the center of this. So I don't want to put it too far out because I don't want it to adhere to the back piece, right? It just has to stay on Santa himself to keep him from literally just popping right out when someone pulls it up. Because they're going to pull it up. They're going to pull it up a lot. That is going to be like the coolest thing. Like my husband, who has a great, I don't know if engineering's the right word, but like he can build anything and has built lots of things. He couldn't figure this out. So, you know, they're going to be looking at it, trying to figure it out the whole time. So we want to make sure he's nice and straight with the bottom edge. And then we're going to put this right along the bottom edge. So hopefully you can see that. Okay. And again, I'm making sure I have nothing sticking beyond. And I'm going to even, once again, pull my scissors in and just trim a little bit of this. I'm going to leave a little bit extend over. That looks about good, about even. All right. So we have to put a hole in this dude, though. So we're going to pull him back up here. And this is where I'm going to bring in the crop-a-dile, because we're going through all these layers, right? 2 layers of cardstock, the thick cardstock, and the window sheet. And both sides have a punch. I want the smaller side. I want the hole here to be not so obvious or obtrusive, if you will. So I'm going to center that as best I can. Look underneath to make sure that I'm in a good position. I want to stay down a little bit from the top so the ribbon doesn't pull through, and we're going to punch. And it goes through it like butter. That was the beauty of the crop-a-dile. You could punch through just about anything. It was fabulous. And then I am using the red stitched ribbon from the Pampered Pets. It's the one that has the black and white baker's twine on the other roll that comes in the combo. And we're going to give ourselves lots of ribbon to put this through. And I'm sure you know this, but if you want the pretty finish on the front, then you put the folded edge through first, right? And I'm actually going to grab my Take Your Pick tool to help me with that. Oops. It's gonna fight me. Yep. All right, let's see if I can just do it this way. Except that I switched the end, didn't I? And now I have the spatula end. That's not gonna let me do it. But this end might. There we go. We got it. So we're just going to pull that through so we have enough room to work, and then we'll put our tails through. My fingers don't want to work though, do they? Hardest part of the card is getting the tails through the ribbon hole. There we go. And then we will just pull one end and then the other end until we get it nice and snug on there. And then we'll trim that off later. All right, so there we are. You can see he's lined up perfectly at the base. Now we have to get him inside the card. And he's going to line up in here like this. Before we do that, though, we have to create the finger notch, if you will, at the top of the card. So let's do that. Again, retired product, I apologize, but I am using a 1-inch circle punch. And I do want that to be centered. And I'm gonna say that looks centered. What do you think? Now, your punch may or may not go the whole way through, and that's okay, because really what I did is I created the divot so that I can come back in with my punch now and just go through one layer at a time. So we just kind of marked it, if you will. And if that's not enough, we can come back and make it a little deeper. Let's try it and see. because we're going to line that up right there. Oh, I think that's perfect. Yeah? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so all we have to do now is get him mounted and close him up. So again, I'm going back to my Seal Plus because it's nice and strong. And I am going to run down here and down here and across here and across the top. I'm not catching the long little piece that's our stopper, right? I don't want to glue that to anything. And then I'm going to bring this in and line it up and make sure that I am somewhat centered. And that looks pretty good to me. And there he comes. Oh boy. Okay, so let's close him up. Again, we're going to run adhesive just on the sides. You don't need it down here. Actually, I'm going to do it on this side. I want to make sure that I don't get it anywhere near that I could possibly stop him from moving, right? Let me grab one of these silicones, right? Because we want to make sure that our adhesive does not stick where we don't want it, like right there. You can get it off. And then I'm going to just fold this back on itself. I don't think we had any on this side extend. So we definitely were a little closer on the one side than the other. So we're not quite centered here. And because of that, I am going to trim this down so that it is just the width I need it to be. Okay. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, I think we'll be fine there. Okay, there he comes. Isn't that cute? And then the stopper keeps him from coming the whole way out. And then you just slide him back and he's black and white. And I did go ahead and put together our little greeting before we got together. So I'm going to put the ho 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 down here. I don't want it to ride at all on the window sheet. So I want to find my mini dimensionals, which most of the time when I'm looking for my big dimensionals, all I can find are my minis. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool because my fingers are a little bigger. So what I'm going to do is put the dimensionals down here at the bottom. And I think I just finished that sheet off. Nope, I have a couple more in the corner. And then we'll use our take your pick tool to get this off. And it's okay if he comes up into the window, but I didn't want him to be adhered to the window, right? So, well, what did we do? There he is. Like, what's the problem? So there he comes, and then he goes back down in. And I don't think I got this sealed good. So, let me show you on the original one. Isn't he cute? Oh, he's so cute. And you know, whoever receives this is just going to sit and do this all day long, right? And the nice thing is you have a big space on the back that you can stamp a greeting or add your own personal written message if you like. If you're using colored cardstock as your base, then simply put a layer of Whisper White on here. Or, sorry, Basic White. And you can still write your message and stamp a greeting on there. But there he is. So cute. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, a like, or a love. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you have, thank you so much. I promised to show you what I did with this. And since I had all those materials around me, I went ahead and created another little quick Christmas card with the other Santa in the Be Jolly stamp set. This one kind of is kicking his heels up. Used the frame, no waste, right? Used the frame that we die cut out of there as our background accent. Used the same blends to color him, and just did a little bit of the Tasteful Textile embossing on the real red in the background for that. So there you go. There is your magic slider card and the piece that I created with the leftovers. All right, hey guys, that's it for me for today. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great Labor Day, or if you're watching this later, hope you're having a great day any day. And I'll be back next Monday with another Make It Monday. If you do not have a demonstrator and are looking for catalogs, please reach out to me and we can make that happen for you. Or if you're looking for a demonstrator to place an order, I would love to have you shop with me. Again, Addicted Stamper, September hostess code, and earn those free Just Card kits. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.